this is Brendan from Watto Training, and in this tutorial we take a look at the TAEDES401 design and develop a one-day driving induction program for RTO Watto Training enrolled students. We're doing a fictional courier company called ABCDE Couriers, and this is the background information on the company and the drivers. The task outline is as follows for this assessment. For Learning Program 1, you are required to conceptualise, design, develop and review a learning program to meet an identified need for a group of learners, ABC new courier drivers. Learning Program 1 must be based on competency standards and must cover at least one entire unit of competency. The unit that we will use for this assignment is TAEDES401, Operate Commercial Vehicle. You will be required to study this unit and apply it to a fictional courier company, ABCDE Couriers, in the form of a one-day courier driver induction. As you complete this assessment, you will 1. Define the parameters of the induction program. Note, parameters are the limits or boundaries which define the scope of the program. 2. Work within the VET policy framework. VET stands for Vocational Education and Training. 3. Develop program content. And 4. Design the structure of the induction program. You will be provided with A. Information about ABCDE Couriers. You will use this information to develop your one-day driver induction program. B. Information about the unit of competency being used for this assessment. Operate Commercial Vehicle TLI-C1051. C. A template to complete to outline the content of your learning program. Note to candidates. Enrolled candidates with RTO Watto Training for this unit will have templates and relevant resources to complete this assessment. This tutorial is to support candidates in getting an appreciation of what is required in the learning program, as well as information about ABCDE Couriers and their drivers. Background information on the company and the drivers. ABCDE Couriers. Part 1. Training provider details. You have two options for this part of the assessment. Option 1, you can put in the details of your company/organisation that you work for or will work for, or one you have worked for in the past, or option 2, you can put in your own details, even if they're fictitious for the sake of the exercise. The name of your driving school or business, who prepared the learning program, the phone number, and the email address and workplace address. So on the right of screen here we have the premises of our fictional ABCDE Couriers business. Client details. The client for this learning program is ABCDE Couriers, based at 1 ABCDE Street, Brisbane, Queensland 4001. The phone number is there, and there's the email as well. So there's the contact details for the client. ABCDE Couriers is a family-owned and operated company with over 25 years' experience in road transport. ABCDE Couriers currently have over 100 employees operating out of our depot in Brisbane, and we owe our growth to our dedication to customer focus, innovation and service. The target audience for the learning program is its delivery drivers/courier drivers. The work region covered by ABCDE Couriers is the Brisbane CBD, which is within a 100-kilometre radius. Part 3, job role details. This is sections about the job role for a courier driver. Couriers are responsible for distributing packages and documents for institutions, businesses, government agencies and individuals. They pick up documents and packages from customers' offices or houses and then deliver them to final destinations within the same area. Freight delivered by courier drivers includes packages and parcels, spare parts, and food supplies. Job skills required for courier drivers. Having good communication skills, being familiar with the local area, having understanding of traffic patterns, being punctual, having interpersonal skills, being reliable and trustworthy, having good sense of direction, being able to keep basic accounting records, having customer service skills, and being able to meet strict deadlines. Driver responsibilities include perform 35 to 40 deliveries, general freight daily, some of which will be hand unloaded, 1 to 3 scheduled pickups per day, Safely operate and conduct vehicle checks of your assigned C-Class vehicle. Maintain all freight, parcels and documentation. Loading, transporting and delivering items to clients or businesses in a safe, timely manner. Reviewing orders before and after delivery to ensure that orders are complete and charges are correct and the customer is satisfied. Right of screen, assisting with loading and unloading items from vehicles, accepting payments for delivered items, providing excellent customer service, answering questions and handling complaints from clients, adhering to assigned routes and following time schedules, abiding by all transportation laws and maintaining a safe driving record, preparing reports and other documents relating to deliveries, and operating equipment and machines such as cars, trucks, forklifts, etc. Expected work hours for courier drivers is as follows. We'll go back there. Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Overtime hours are available. Part 4, program details. So the unit of competency is operate a commercial vehicle. The unit code is TLI C1051. And the unit description for operate commercial vehicles is as follows. This unit involves the skills and knowledge required to maintain the safety of and to operate a commercial vehicle across a variety of job roles. It includes monitoring traffic and associated equipment, managing vehicle condition and performance, and effectively managing hazardous situations. The purpose of the learning program in this case is induction of new drivers. The course length will be 1 day. This is a sample course structure for a 1-day learning program. You can choose to alter it for your purposes when you design your learning program. 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. enrollment and induction, 7 a.m. to 9:30 face-to-face training delivery, 9:30 to 9:45 morning tea, 9:45 to noon knowledge assessment, written and oral questioning, 12 to 12:30 p.m. lunch, 12:30 p.m. to 12:45 briefing on skills assessment, 12:45 to 2:45 p.m. skills assessment in the vehicle, and 2:45 to 3 p.m. debrief and feedback. The date will be ongoing due to its nature because it's an induction training. What resources will be required? ABCDE Couriers will provide a training room for face-to-face training as well as the vehicles for the assessment. The vehicles used will be Hyundai iLoad 5-speed automatics. Licensing, legislative, regulatory or certification requirements. Okay, so when we put the learning program together, we have to abide by all relevant state, territory, roads and traffic authority driving regulations and license permit requirements pertaining to C-Class vehicles, relevant state, territory, road rules, relevant state, territory, permit regulations and requirements, relevant state, territory, work health safety legislation, relevant state, territory, environmental protection legislation. The sources of information, documents that may be relevant, state, territory driving license and permit requirements, state, territory road rules, workplace driving instructions and procedures, vehicle manufacturers' instructions, specifications and recommended driving procedures including pre-operational checks of the vehicle, emergency procedures, vehicle logbook or record book where required, relevant standards and certification requirements, quality assurance procedures. Prerequisites to enrolment: provisional car license must be held prior to commencement of this unit of competency. Okay, what defines a C-Class license? A motor vehicle with or without a trailer other than a motorcycle that has a maximum weight of 4.5 tonne gross vehicle mass, is built or fitted to carry no more than 12 adults including the driver. Managing work health safety risks. Okay, some of the WHS risks are time pressures, shift work, fatigue and physical fitness, poor vehicle design, manual handling of heavy weights, working at height, and gases and fume exposure. I'm not saying that all of these occur at ABCDE Couriers, but these are things to be aware of when you put your program together. Delivery strategy for the induction program. The knowledge the client would like to be face-to-face and the skills in the training vehicle. A lot of companies will do online assessment as well. It's an efficient and effective way of delivering induction programs to keep in mind. Part 5, knowledge session in the classroom. Okay, these are some suggestions of what you might incorporate in your classroom session. Pre-operational checks, knowledge carried out on the vehicle and related action. visual check of the vehicle, checking and topping up fluid levels, checks of tyre pressures, checks of operation of vehicle lights and indicators, and checks of brakes. At some companies, this will be done by a maintenance crew so that you've got a professional looking after all of these things at the start of each day. Vehicle damage/defects. The driver needs to have knowledge of driver's reporting procedures. Transmission types. We've already said that we'll be using an automatic I-load courier van, but the driver needs to be aware that there is such a thing as an automatic and a manual vehicle. Loading and unloading. Driver needs to possess knowledge on positioning the load, safety of the load. Transport regulations set out the rules for carrying loads on vehicles, restraining the load, ropes, straps, and nets for securing loads. Driver also needs to be wary of driving hazards. They will be highly exposed because they will be driving for long periods of their working week. This includes wet and iced roads, oil on the road, animals and objects on the road, fire in the vehicle, leaking fluid, faulty brakes, parked vehicles on the road, faulty steering mechanisms on the vehicle, pedestrians crossing the road, flooded sections of the road, windy sections of the road, foggy conditions, worksite hazards. Vehicle handling procedures that the drivers will need to possess are as follows: the ability to start the vehicle, steer and maneuver the vehicle, accelerating and braking, positioning and stopping the vehicle, reversing the vehicle, operating vehicle controls, instruments and indicators, using defensive driving techniques, managing engine performance. Efficient driving techniques that the driver will have for fuel efficiency and to minimize environmental damage. Minimize vehicle use, drive in the correct gear, well in this case we're in an automatic, drive smoothly, minimize fuel wastage in idling, don't speed, minimize aerodynamic drag, look after your vehicle's tyres, use air conditioning sparingly, travel light, keep your vehicle in good condition. Let's take a look at the low-risk driving behaviours that the drivers will need to possess and make part of their driving habit. Observation scanning techniques, shoulder checks, blind spot management, mirror checks, signalling, identifying and managing traffic hazards, safety margins and safety cushions, space cushion, progress, which means drive to the conditions, signs, signals and markings, and speed control. Bottom left, judgment. Okay, let's take a look at the recommended procedure for safe driving, which is the system of vehicle control. On an approach to any hazard, the driver should perform the following as per the system of vehicle control. Set a plan for where they're going, check their mirrors, signal in the direction that they're heading, adjust their speed and their road position, adjust their gears and mirrors, in this case the automatic will do that, take evasive action, which could mean stop, give way, etc., and then accelerate and drive on when safe. An example of where you might apply this might be like at the traffic lights turning left, for example. Okay, let's take a look at some of the defensive driving techniques that the driver will need to possess to safely perform their job. Situational awareness, being aware of what's happening around them 360 degrees. Managing themselves, mood, temperament, sleep deprivation, those types of things. Managing the risks on the road. Managing distractions, mobile phones and signage, etc. People walking down the street. Managing the space that they have and controlling their speed and having an escape if some sort of danger occurs in the traffic environment. Let's take a look now at the professional conduct that will be expected of the drivers. Complying with all the road rules, being patient and courteous towards other road users, accepting that all drivers make mistakes, and avoiding aggressive or offensive behaviour. They are representing the company and themselves. Having consideration for pedestrians, cyclists and livestock. Refraining from erratic driving practices, for example, excessive or aggressive lane changing, hard acceleration and braking. Parking legally and with regard to the needs of other road users, which can be a challenge for couriers at times in CBD areas. Reading and interpreting relevant instructions, procedures, information and signs. State and territory road rules. Workplace driving instructions and procedures. Vehicle manufacturers' instructions, specifications and recommended driving procedures, including pre-operational checks of the vehicle, emergency procedures and vehicle logbook or logbook requirements. Fatigue management, causes and effects of fatigue on drivers, factors that increase fatigue-related accidents, and fatigue management strategies including on-road techniques, and lifestyles that promote effective long-term fatigue management. Another skill that the driver is required to possess are map reading and road navigation techniques, the operation and safe use. Principles of stress management when driving a vehicle. Driving all day can be stressful, especially when it comes to having timelines, etc. What is stress management? How does stress affect our health? What are the warning signs of stress? And what are some tips for reducing stress? Factors that may cause traffic delays and diversions and related action that can be taken include traffic accidents, flooded sections of road damage, bridge and tunnel damage, roadworks, building construction, emergency situations such as bushfires and building fires, road closures for special events such as marches, parades and sporting events, holiday traffic, road closures for utility works such as electricity, water, sewerage, telecommunications, gas, etc. Okay, the procedures to be followed if any of the drivers have a breakdown. This is a sample. The specific companies might have variations on this, but this gives our candidates something to work off. Make every attempt to exit the highway, motorway if possible. As soon as you realise your vehicle is going to break down, exit the highway environment. You'll be much safer waiting for assistance in a lower speed environment. If this is not possible, pull your vehicle onto the shoulder of the road, or if not, no shoulder exits, as far away from the traffic as possible. Turn your vehicle hazard lights on so motorists can see you have broken down. If at night, leave parking lights on as well. Once you have pulled over safely, turn your wheels away from traffic. If safe, pop your bonnet to show passing motorists that you have broken down. Check the surrounding environment. If safe, exit your vehicle. The driver and any passengers should exit through the passenger side of the vehicle away from traffic and move behind a barrier or as far away from traffic as possible. If not safe to exit your vehicle, ensure all driver and passenger seatbelts are securely fastened. Call your roadside assistance provider from your mobile and advise of your location. If you don't have a mobile phone and it isn't safe to walk to a telephone, stay with your vehicle and wait for help. Do not walk along highways or motorways. Emergency procedures. You must stop at the scene and call 000 if there is an emergency or any of the following police attendance criteria are met. Death or injury requiring medical attention from a qualified ambulance officer, nurse or doctor. A hazardous environment or threat to public safety, including traffic congestion, e.g. fuel spill, power lines down. If police are required to attend the traffic crash, call 000 and request police. If the state/territory fire and emergency service or state/territory ambulance service is also required, please telephone 000 immediately. You must stop at the scene and call Police Link or similar police unit in your state territory if any of the following police attendance criteria are met. Suspected involvement of drugs and or alcohol. A driver fails or has failed or is refusing to provide required details. A driver with an impairment or disability requires police assistance. Otherwise, exchange information with other persons involved in the traffic crash, arrange for movement of the vehicles involved in the crash if safe to do so, and where required, report the crash to the police within 24 hours. This does not include if you have returned to your unattended vehicle and very minor damage has been caused by an unknown vehicle and the other driver has already left the scene without exchanging details. In this instance, you must report the matter to a police station. And I stress, please check your state and territory specific requirements for emergency and breakdown procedures. If you require support with this assessment, please contact Watto Training. Candidates are most likely to understand what to do in this assessment if they have read all the materials and watched all of the tutorials before commencing. That way they have an overview of everything and then can get down to work. Thanks for watching. This has been Brendan from Watto Training.